Yes,
Shout out
sir.
to the chat. Yo, Black is
Shout out to the
time.
chat.
Welcome back. Knicks and Bruises, episode 10. I got a special guest, a very special guest tonight. My guy, Dame Don Russell, aka Don Wick.
What's
Childhood
good?
friend, man. We
Word.
grew up together in the Bronx. I haven't seen this guy in maybe 10, no, 20 years
20 years, bro.
at least.
Word.
How you been, man?
Man, good. Just, navigating through this wild world, man. As a family man, as growing as a man, you know what I mean?
I feel you, man. We shit where we came from growing
Woo.
up. You know, just to see your face, man. After all these years,
Word.
it's a
Word.
blessing, man.
Same here, brother. For real, for
A
real.
blessing. You know, we've been through a lot. We've been through the trenches. Started off young playing basketball together. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
OLA,
Learn,
LA Angels.
yes, learning the game. You
Word.
know, remember coach. You know, I got
Shout out to Mario Lopez, Coach Lopez. I still looking for that brother because he meant so much to my life, bro. Still looking for that man.
for real, for real. Shout out to coach
Word,
and his son. And his
word,
son.
word, word. Eladio, word.
Ladio for sure. Um, yeah, man. So thank you for coming on. I appreciate you.
It's
You
a
know,
pleasure.
supporting the channel. Um, it's funny. So why don't you tell everybody how you when you reached out to me? What made you reach out?
So
Because
yo, it's wild, right? So I watch nothing but Knicks, right? So yo, I'm watching one day and I'm sitting there with my wife and I'm like, yo, is that Crow? And I'm like, yo, that's my boy Crow on there. Man, I immediately had to go on Facebook and hit you up like, yo, I seen you on the show, fam. Yeah. It was
salute,
crazy,
salute.
bro. It was wild.
Of course, I had to let you tell that little intro because shout out to the Podfather,
Word, word, word. Shout
Simeon,
out to Sin
nothing
Dog
but Knicks,
and
you
nothing but
know,
Nick's whole family. Shout out to them
for
because I love the
sure.
show. I love this show. It's so grounded with New York and the New York Knicks. The vibe is like when I watch it, I feel like I'm in a room with a bunch of my friends and I'm just watching.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the
I,
vibe.
I,
That's
I
the
be
vibe,
talking
man.
to this. I be talking to the TV.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, man. When you get an opportunity, man, call up.
Mhm.
Call up because we definitely appreciate all the insight from all the fans. So definitely call up. Become an MBK member,
Mm.
and you could join the video chat. You know what I mean, and join the family. And
Absolutely.
I know you got some things that you're gonna be working on
Mm.
podcast wise and YouTube. You know what I mean? It's a family, so we all one hand wash the other. You know what I mean? We look out for
Word,
each other.
word,
So
word.
join the family, and yeah, I appreciate that. That was great, man. You called me up, yo. I saw you on nothing but Knicks, and
Word.
I'm like, it just goes to show how basketball unites people, reunites people. You know what I mean? Because who
Word.
knows if we would have linked up again if it wasn't for that.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Because I mean, like, that I seen you on there, and I was like, yo, I love it. My brother doing his thing. Let me shout him out. You know what I mean? I'm still involved in ball. I mean, one, I'm still playing. You know what I mean? I'm killing them out there at the age of 40 still. Young
okay.
cats, giving them the work. um, I was coaching junior magic out in Orlando. I was coaching
Okay.
kids for about 2 years, you know what I mean? I enjoyed that. But I moved out to Tampa now, so I'm just getting acclimated. But I'm still love the game, still in the game. I can't drop the ball, bro.
I hear you, man. I'm a little bit I haven't played in quite a while. I love to play when I can, but I ain't like my boss, he's been trying to telling me about the 40 and over
Yeah, yeah,
40
yeah.
and over league. And I'm thinking about it, you know what I mean? I'm right there in that age, so I could go ahead and maybe run with some of these older guys, but I can't run with the youth, man.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
boys, these
It's
young
it's a
boys,
good
man.
it's a good way to stay in shape though, bro. Like, I mean, there's times I've run into some cats where I'm like, oh man, but then I push myself and I'm right there and I'm giving them the work. And plus, you say you can't run with the young cats, but we got that old knowledge. You see what I'm saying? Many a times in the game, if I can't beat them with just pure athleticism, I know certain things that they haven't learned yet.
I hear
Certain
you.
moves, how to trick them out their stuff and stuff like that. So it's a young man's game, but we still got our way in there, bro.
I hear you. You still throwing it down? You still banging?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't banging. I'm not. I'm still getting up there. I'm hanging, but I ain't banging. But
I
I'm
hear
getting
you.
my points though.
I hear you. I know you still playing that defense though, man.
Oh
That
yeah.
was just
Oh yeah.
staple.
Oh yeah.
Knocking dudes down, throwing the ball out of bounds and into
Oh
the
yeah.
stands and all that.
Oh yeah. We
So
still blocking
salute,
cats around here.
salute to you, man.
All
And
right.
congratulations, man. You say you got a wife now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
That's great to see. You know the growth and development of the guys we grew up with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shout out to
For
Riri,
sure.
my wife, because she gonna watch this. Shout out to her. You know, it's the female
Salute.
me. It's crazy because
Salute.
I don't know if you remember, I'm a Leo, right? And she a Leo. It's the only other
Okay.
Leo I've ever dated. We don't even argue, bro. It's perfect.
Mm, that's a beautiful thing, man. God
Thank
bless.
you. Thank you.
God bless. So no further ado, let's get into this Knicks and Bruises. As always, you know, we've been through a lot as Knicks fans.
What?
We've gone through the trenches, and it's been a lot of things that hurt us over the years, some more than others. And that's the point of this podcast. We like to talk about the bad experiences, get them out, let them go, and then we get to focus on this new regime, this new team,
Mm.
and this bright future. So with no further ado, man, the floor is yours, and you can start wherever you like to start.
Well, if we're gonna start with the Knicks, the small slice that the Knicks have done. Well, for years we've done was get guards. You know what I'm saying? We was guard heavy for years. You know what I mean? With lacking on the center. You know what I mean? This time it's actually a benefit to have so many guards. You know what I mean? Um, the getting the players past their prime. You know what I mean? We go get what we want too late and pay too much for it. You know what I mean? Things like that. Let's talk Amari. That hurt. That hurt bad. When we had the playoff, we was going to playoff run. We had one of the best seasons ever.
Fire
Mari goes,
extinguisher.
Mari goes and hits his hand on a fire extinguisher, and we out, bro. That hurt. It's things like that with the Knicks that we just keep shooting ourselves in the foot. You know what I mean? If it's not like business moves, it's players doing some wild stuff, bro.
Let me ask you this: a comment and a question. I'll
Mm.
start with the comment. Based off of, getting guys in past their prime, and one of the big bruises actually to me is it's kind of like a gift and a curse because every one of my favorite players, all but maybe like two or three, have ended up playing for the Knicks at some point, but it's that point. It's when they pass their prime. Penny
Exactly.
Hardaway, Tracy McGrady, Stefan is probably the only one, and Marbury. I mean, Stefan and Carmelo are probably the only two that weren't past their prime that we
Yeah.
got that at some point was my favorite player.
And they still mishandled
Francis,
them. Still mishandled
yeah,
them.
yeah. Yeah, don't get me started with the mishandling of those two guys, man. And then my question was the Stoudemire extinguisher, was that also the same year he hurt his back doing a dunking warm up, or was that was that 2 consecutive years?
I think that was 2 consecutive years because that year where he hurt his hand, bro was averaging 30. He was averaging a double double and averaging 30.
Mm,
He was killing it. You know what I mean? He was straight killing it. And off of motion, go ahead and hurt his hand and gives us no chance.
yeah,
And I
he
love
did.
Amari. I ain't gonna
He
front
did
that.
come back too. He came back fast. Like
Yeah, he did.
I thought he was gone for the series, and I think he missed 2 games,
Yeah.
but it was crucial.
But that hurts, bro. And then you even still you hurt your hand. That's gonna affect you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was tough, bro.
What else you got for me?
Let's see. Jeremy Lin, that guy. That's another mishandling of a player, man. Because that could have been something crazy for the city at the time. Dude was balling out of his mind. Had they gave him the right encouragement, played him right, kept him. I think as at the point guard position, we probably wouldn't have had so many problems because that messed his whole confidence up. He was never the same player after that, and that boy had potential, bro. I mean, matter of fact, I think he just drop like 7 3-pointers in the G League the other night.
Yeah, yes, he
He's
did
getting it back.
against Westchester at that.
Yeah,
Against the Westchester Knicks.
it's just once again mishandling of players, man. Jeremy Lin, I thought could have been something big for us, and I was loving it. Lin Sanity was wild.
I ain't gonna front. I haven't really spoke on it publicly or admitted it, but the whole insanity journey was probably one of the greatest Knicks moments that I've witnessed in my life.
Agree. I could definitely. Like, it had the city turn.
Yeah, that was different, yo. Like, that was different.
My man was going head to head with Kobe, bro. You remember that game?
I do.
Who would think he was going head to head with the Mamba, bro? Rest in peace.
Salute, rest in peace for sure. Yeah, man. I mean, he waved Carmelo off and said, "I got this," and hit a game winner. Like, you know, I tweeted out yesterday about quickly. He's got a testicular fortitude.
Yeah, that dude just got tunnel vision.
You got to say the same thing with Lin at that time. For him to wave off Carmelo and say, "I got this game winner,"
yeah,
you got to make that shot.
Yeah.
You can't miss after. You know what I mean? After that, and he
because you know Melo was money. Melo was money. So to do that, yeah, he was feeling it, and they totally messed his whole his self-awareness, his confidence, all that up. But that dude could have been the point guard of the future, for real. I'm hoping that he comes back as far as like a player, because I really appreciate his game and his humbleness. Because off the court, I hear nothing but good things about him.
Yeah, salute to him, man. And it just goes to show how what's the word I'm looking? How fickle this league is. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely. You could be on top of the world one year, and you know, a couple years later you could be out the league. You talking about a guy who's just came off of, you know, winning the championship the year before last with the Rockets to being out the league. Now, granted, he wasn't a star there, but he contributed.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and you know, you can't take that away from him. He got a ring and he got championship experience on top of it.
Yeah, so, you can't take that. You can't rob that. That's a lot, and that can get you back in the league. It can get him back in the league. Just the experience alone.
I agree. Well,
just to touch on something real quickly that you were saying. Yo, bro, I can't wait to see him at starting point guard. I understand what Tibbs is doing, because in a way I appreciate it, because it's kind of like the opposite of what the Knicks have been doing. He's protecting the guy. He's giving him key moments where he knows he's going to shine, and keeping his confidence up, and keeping him away from things that's going to make him doubt himself. I definitely understand it. I see it. I appreciate it. But I think Tibbs needs to start turning his minutes up during the season. Turning it up during the season, and to get him. I say like after All-Star, probably like maybe a couple weeks after All-Star, we should see him starting. He needs to touch that floor starting. I think so. Me personally, just the coach in me and the ball player in me, you got a guy raging in the corner trying to come out. You got to let him off the leash in a minute.
See, here's what I think about that. Like prior to Derrick Rose, I would have more likely agreed with you. But with Derrick Rose here, one, I actually like the dynamic of the way the team is running with Quickly and Rose playing together.
That looks good. I can't front.
But if there was a change, I would probably put Rose in the starting lineup and let Peyton run with Quickly. I think Peyton and Quickly probably works just as well, maybe a little less than Rose and Quickly. But Rose and Peyton, I don't know how that is gonna work together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm offensively. I do not like Peyton. I never really liked Peyton offensively. He's a good player. I think he's more of a Boris Diaw kind of guy. The defensive stopper. Stay on the dude. You know what I'm saying? Put him in when you gotta stop this guy from scoring. What I would do personally if I was coaching, I would, and I do like that Rose starting. You can't go wrong either way. Um, but what I would do is if I was to start, let's say, if I was to start Quickly, I would have Rose coming off the bench with Burt, or vice versa. Because
who's gonna who? So that's the 1-2, right?
yeah, as the 1-2.
Right now, Burke is running the 3, undersized 3.
Yeah.
So who's your 3? You putting Knox back in a rotation?
Yeah, I like Knox though, man. I don't like him out the rotation, bro. I think that's another mishandling that they messing with his confidence. Because I know we had this talk off camera before. I told you how I felt about Knox. I think Knox' skill set and his size, I know he ain't 7 foot, but his size and his length and his skill set is Kevin Durant-esque to me. He's lanky. He can get his shot off. He moves pretty fluid. He can get off the ground easy. I just think if you kind of tailored his game more to that Kevin Durant type style, he'd be more effective. Spot up shooter and drive when needed. But I think people are underestimating his shot. And the reason his shot ain't dropping the way it is, he ain't getting the chance to really get at it.
I think he's got opportunities this year. And you know, it's just a short leash. So you got like that. That's my thing with Knox. You got to take advantage of every opportunity you get.
True.
You know what I mean? Like there's no right now, this particular time is no time for a lackluster performance because you could lose.
Yeah, you lose your spots like
that, man.
We got replacements.
You know? So and I love that competition. I love that because that's something you got to learn. That's a true professional. Being ready when your moment comes up. You know what I mean? You may not have that moment every single day, but you got to be ready to perform when you get that opportunity, and then you could keep that opportunity. But I'm a Knoxer too. I'm very high on him. I was one of the guys pushing to draft him.
Yeah, me too.
I am a little bit disappointed overall because coming into that draft, all I heard was his motor, and I defended him against it. Saying, hey, this kid's young, and he's still young, but he's got to get that internally to where he wants to be the best.
True. The potential's there. You gotta pull it out. You right. You absolutely right on that.
Skill set's there, potential's there, all that's there. It's just you just gotta do it, man.
Nah, you right.
Do it.
Right. How you feeling with Obi?
Give me 1 second. Obi, I'm fine with Obi. He's another one I wanted coming into the draft. I did not think he was gonna fall. The fact that he fell, I thought it was you can't miss the opportunity.
No.
You know what I mean? A little underwhelmed with his performance so far, but I take him as a guy. I think next year we're gonna see exactly who he is. It's not gonna take 3 years. It's not gonna take 4 years. I think next year we're gonna see exactly who he is. I think the same way he got to Dayton and had to learn for a year, and then next year, it was like, yo, who is this kid?
Yeah, that's
He,
true. That's what was being said. Yeah.
it's like, yo, he was on the team last year. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
is he a freshman? Because you didn't even remember his previous year.
Yeah.
I think that's the kind of guy he is. I think if you really watching him, you could see his improvement already throughout the season. You
Yeah,
could see
no,
he
yeah,
was learning on the fly,
yeah.
and he's one of those guys that I think after a full year, it's gonna be like, oh, he is that guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, he can do this. So I'm not worried about Obi at all. I just think it's gonna take him a full year to show his potential on the NBA court.
Now I'm just trying to understand what do we do with him and Randall, because Randall's playing out of his mind right now. You know what I mean? Like I never thought, because I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. I was ready to throw him overboard. You know what I'm saying? But now my man found his groove. He found his game. Um, and that's stopping in a way. That's stopping the growth for Obi. But you can't just give that away. You know what I mean? You can't give what Randall's giving us away. I wouldn't even want to trade that right now.
Let me tell you like this. It's two opposite ends of the spectrum. The same way I said it's gonna take Obi a year, I was saying that last year it's gonna take Randall a year. And what I was saying was Randall was put into a position that he's never been in before as the number one option, the go-to guy. Or I shouldn't say never, but at least not since maybe college or high school. You know what I mean? He's never been in that position in the NBA. There's a learning curve there. You know what I mean? Like this guy, I mean, I was killing Randall at some point last year. I ain't gonna lie, but me listening to the chats, listening to Twitter, listening to some other YouTube channels, chats, it got so disgusting with me, like the hate that Randall got, that it made me say, hey, I gotta defend this guy. And I actually wrote an article talking about how people were gonna owe him an apology this year. Because
you're right.
even by the end of the year last year, you've seen the adjustments he made. And that's a learning curve to not be the go-to guy, to come into a new situation. And people will say, hey, he's not a number one option. He's not a number one option. But on our team, he was. You know what I mean? Like people were looking at it like a championship team. Yeah, granted, he probably wouldn't be the number one option on a championship team, or at least he didn't know how. You know what I mean? So with Obi, I think it's the opposite. Coming from being the number one guy, I think it's the same type of adjustment.
I think you're absolutely right.
To learn how to become just one of the guys. You know what I mean? Or how to adjust to not being the number one option, and then having to adjust to working the system, working with the guys around you, people learning you learning them. So again, I think it's the same type of adjustment, just the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah,
so
I could agree.
I think Obi will be fine in the long run. I don't think his growth is being stunted. I think he's learning. I think he's learning the right way right now. A lot of people early, when we drafted Obi before a game was even played, it was like, oh, we got to move Randall now. You know what I mean? Like Obi's got to start, and
I was one of them.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine though, with the learning curve that we obviously see he has, if Obi was out starting power forward right now, Randall was gone, we wouldn't be in the success that we're in right now.
Yeah,
at least I don't believe it.
No, I agree. We wouldn't, and it may have also stunted his growth because it may have been too much on him, and the league figure him out early. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got a hell of a point there. You're right.
Yeah, I think he's in a perfect position now where the pressure is off. The pressure's off of him. He got a big brother that he can learn from. They're similar in size and build, maybe not
and
athleticism
and game.
Yeah. Randall doesn't have the athleticism, but he makes up for some of that with his creativity.
Yeah.
I think Obi's gonna be fine. I think I actually love it. Like the way I'm looking at it, like you got quickly learning from
D-roll.
Rose.
Yeah.
You got Obi learning from Randall. Like that's what I wanted. Like
Yeah. We
back to
never had that. We ain't never
your
had that, Knicks. We ain't never had that. At least in my generation, our generation, we ain't seen that.
and that's again going back to the whole Kevin Durant. I wanted Durant to mentor Knox. You know, you talk about the similarities like that. That's what I envisioned. So the fact that
Yeah.
we got two of those right now already in place. Um, I think we're in the right direction. Same thing with we got Noel. Even though Mitch is starting, you know, we got Noel to mentor Mitch. He's been through some
That was a
things.
good pickup.
A guy
That
like
was a good pickup.
Taj.
Yeah, Taj, that was a good pickup too. That's locker room strength.
So
And he a tough dude on the court. But he give that New York spirit. He got that New York spirit in him.
there's another guy that's affiliated that we all friendly with and part of the family. Die Hard Knicks podcast. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but check him out as well. And we were talking about earlier today. Tyson Chandler. He hates the idea of Tyson Chandler, but I do not. He's
I
he's
don't.
not he's
I
not
don't.
playing right now, and I think that's another guy that would be a huge benefit for Mitch. Maybe learning. As funny as it sounds, but learning some offense from Tyson Chandler. Now
Yeah.
I know a
Yeah.
lot of people are gonna look at me and say Tyson Chandler didn't play offense, but if you
I
look at him
remember when he was in Chicago and
and
all
didn't
that.
play
My
a
man was
lick
a
of
beast in the
offense.
middle. He was a beast in the middle, and his defense was no joke either.
So yeah, you can learn some things from. But he wasn't an offensive player. You know what I
Nah,
mean?
he wasn't an offensive
He had to
player.
learn that he got to put that 14-footer up sometimes. Which
Yeah,
Mitch needs to learn. He had to learn a little bit of some post game, which I think
yeah,
Mitch has to learn. So I think just the mentoring on that aspect, I think that would be a good fit as well. Um,
I
with
agree.
current regime. Um, we've been kind of mixing it up a little. Give me some of your bruises, man. What are your top three worst Knicks moments in your opinion
Let me
for you
see.
personally?
Me personally, the year we went to the finals during the OJ the OJ trade, bro, bro. It's like we couldn't catch a break, fam. That was hard for me because number one, you get your Knicks finals interrupted by a slow 5 mile an hour chase.
I'm like, yo, it's on every channel. Why do you got to put it on this channel? Like, it's literally on every channel. Like,
Yeah,
I just want to watch the finals.
yeah, I could,
I was
man,
that was
that
hard.
hurt. I gotta say, what was it? This the off season with without getting Kyrie or KD, that hurt initially. Initially, it hurt. Watching now, and then you look at how them two dudes is. I'm kind of glad they're not here. You know what I mean? There's a little too much emotions and stuff like that. But just initially knowing that we wasn't getting none of that, and we wasn't getting Zion, it was just another slap in the face. That hurt. And I say the next bruise that we had, that biggest bruise that I feel would be, I would have to say, I can't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't even think of it right now. I'm gonna be
Okay.
honest with you. I can't even think of one right now. It might come to me in a minute.
I tell you what. Um, I knew there was no place to go but up after the we weren't getting Zion, we wasn't getting KD, wasn't getting Kyrie, like, and it was like a big bruise, but it was short lived.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
absolutely.
what I mean? Like it was like the initial bruise, that it just hurt, but after that, I'm like, hey, we at the bottom. We
We
can
gotta just
only
work
get
up.
we can only get better.
Hmm.
I didn't see a championship in the foreseeable future, but I felt like there's no we're already at the bottom, so we just got to climb our way back out. You know what I mean? It's probably going to take a long time. I didn't think we'd be this good this fast, but I was willing to, hit the reset button, and I just said, just don't make stupid moves, man. And since then, we have been making some great decisions, man.
And you got to give that up to what's his name, the new the GM that we got,
Leon Rose.
Yeah, you got to give it up to him, bro, because he came in here making the right moves. He's building up our young players. He's working what we got in the draft. He's not chasing the gold or the dream as far as like players that's out there. I know Beal is the talk about Beal and Levine is crazy because I actually pulled those trades off in 2K way before they were even talking about it.
That's funny.
I was already looking at that. I don't want Beal because I know we're going to give up too much. That's the only reason. I think he fit great in New York, but I think we'll give up too much, and that might just keep us exactly where we're at rather than getting better. Levine,
oh no, we'll be better.
No, I'm saying as far as but our bench and stuff like that, we're going to give up too much. You know what I'm saying? We'll be better as a starting team or whatever, but. Getting down to the nitty gritty, if we get to the playoffs, that bench is not going to be what we got now. This bench is fire right now. You know what I mean? With Levine, I say build up. What do you call it? Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank real quick. Number 9, RJ Barrett. Build RJ Barrett up because he can be a combo guard for us. He can handle the ball, he can score, he can pass. Levine is pretty much the same thing with athleticism. If we can't bring him on, what are we going to do with RJ?
Well, I think RJ will move to the 3 or stay at the 3, and I'd put Levine at the 2.
But that's kind of like two of the same players to me.
Yeah, but RJ don't shoot like Levine.
No, he don't shoot like Levine, but he's working on it. And then we're kind of undermanned there after that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think ultimately we need a 3. Well, actually, I believe we need a 2 because I think ultimately RJ is a 3, or will be a 3 long term. Yeah, I don't see him as a 2 guard. But I think either one of those 2 guys would work. Beal or Levine. I think Levine will cost a little bit less, but I'm not sure how much. Just because Chicago has nothing else really.
No, they need him.
So they're not gonna give him up and not feel like they won the trade.
Yeah. He would be good in New York. It's just I just don't want to give up too much for him. For any of those
Beal, on the other hand, I mean, I'm not too high on draft picks. Like they don't mean as much to me as like my problem was we gave away all of our draft picks. The fact that we've been in the acquisition of draft picks mode, I think we are in a position to give some up. So if we're giving up both the Dallas picks,
I'm cool with that.
And 2 second rounders.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
And we're doing something like that for Beal, and then I like Knox. I like.
Yeah, I feel you. But if we gotta give up anybody,
Knox and Frank, that's 2 young guys. That's 2 first-round picks. That's 2 second-round picks. I feel like that's an adequate trade, and I wouldn't mind giving that up. And the way I look at it is, number 1, that puts us at 100% winning the KP trade. That you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We won that.
We won already. I think we won already. But
we could get into that in 1 second because you definitely told me that on Messenger. Yeah. So I'm gonna let you rock and tell why you think we won that trade already, because that's interesting. But I think hands down, if we give up the 2 Dallas picks and get Beal, we won that KP trade.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like Knox. But if we give up Knox and Frank, we're talking about 2 guys that weren't in the rotation anyway.
That's true.
They weren't playing. So everything like so far, everything we're doing right now is a bonus. We still have our own draft picks. If we make the salaries match, we probably have to throw in Bullock, which to me would be fine because that puts Beal at the 2 and RJ at the 3. And we still have cap space next year with the expirings coming off.
Yeah.
So
And
I
that's
think
good. And with I see that scenario I could rock with. We're not giving up our youth for Beal for a superstar. Because I feel that we have some great talent in New York right now if we cultivate it right. And then if you get Beal and put him at the 2, he's gonna play great off of Rose or quickly. He's gonna play good because both of those guys got vision and can attack. You throw RJ at 3, that's height and size and athleticism too. Because I feel like RJ can definitely be a taller version of Harden if he gets into himself. Because he's already hitting you with the Euro step and getting it in right. All he needs is that 3. That 3 get consistent, that boy gonna be bad. And then you got Randall at 4 and Mitch at 5, and eventually if we put Toppin at 4, yeah, that would be great. That would be an awesome look. I think right there would be a contending look. But Levine, I think he'd work in New York too. I ain't gonna front. I think he work in New York too because his attitude and the way he play, he'll get the Garden live too. You know what I'm saying? And that J, like you said, is wet. It's wet out there.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: What do you think of making a move for Drummond right now? I think the speculation is if there's not a bidding war against him, he could probably be had for 2 second round picks, and we have 15 in cap space for this year. So I think we would only need like another 8 or 9 million. So maybe like again a Frank in 2 seconds and absorbing the rest of his contract.
But isn't he a free agent next year?
He is. So we would be giving up 2 seconds and Frank for an expiring, but we also would have his bird rights. Meaning we could not re-sign him initially and sign someone else and go over the cap to sign him after the fact. If he wants to go somewhere else, where else we could give him a sign and trade where he gets a 5th year in the deal, or whatever they're willing to pay him. We could do that type of, like, if someone's willing to give him the max, we could sign him to the max and then trade him to that team and then receive some type of asset, some type of compensation back, whether it's the 2 seconds we gave up or something like that. But see, I think that's a win now mode.
Yeah. Sure. I was just about to say that if we go for Drummond, you got to say, yo, we're going for it now, because we're not going to have him as an asset next year. We can't trade him off, and chances are, I feel like we're going to have to drop at least one asset to get him. You know what I'm saying? So if we get him, number one, that shores up our defense, because we don't need him to score. We just need him to stop people, and he can do that. And he's going to grab like 20 rebounds.
Yeah, 20 boards.
Word. So if we get him, then we got to be making a big playoff push. We got to be looking to try to get in the finals.
I mean, I don't know if we'll make it that far, but
no, I'm not saying we got to make it that far, but you got to look at the prize of that.
Yeah, I think we definitely feel like we could win a round or two. Eastern Conference Finals, I think.
Yeah, mean, but you can't go in there with you can't go in there thinking, oh, we're just gonna win a couple playoff games. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
You got to go in there saying, yo, we're going for the chip. So
and my only concern is, does that? I think that pushes Mitch to the bench for sure. And my concern is not with him in the bench, because I think he would run very well with those boys. Quickly, Rose, Toppin, Burks, I think up and down the court, I think it still fits. It's just a matter of how does Mitch feel. I don't know. There's been rumblings about his
Yeah, I've seen that.
his tweets and
Yeah,
like is he gonna be upset about going to the bench?
yeah.
But
I don't
I
know.
mean,
I would say if the buy-in is that we making this playoff push and this is why we're getting them, and and if you're Mitch, he's not going to be here next year. You know why they're using him this year. You know what I'm saying? If anything, I would just use that time not starting, work on my game, strengthen up, learn, and then be ready to take my position next year. If I'm
yeah,
Mitch, that's how I would look at it because bringing in Drummond, it's not telling me I lost my spot.
yeah, and I mean, if you want to keep it 100, Drummond abused them earlier this year.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, yeah.
excuse me, uh,
My
you
bad,
know what I
little
mean?
guy.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's got to understand. Like, hey, not saying he is a better player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get you 20 boards, like
You
Mitch.
can't, yeah, you don't find that every day, so you can't find that in the league. You
So
know what I mean?
I think the fact that Drummond has kind of dominated Mitch, I think Mitch can't really have an argument
You
about it.
can't. You can't. Yo, this dude is beasting on me. You got all right, bring him in. If you can't beat him, join him. Bring him in.
Yeah,
So if I was Mitch, and I feel Mitch, but I think he's mature enough and he understands what he can be because New York loving him. He's the blockness monster. Everybody, we love him. It's not like we on him or nothing like that. We just want him to grow. I think if he just look at it like that and just take it as the lesson and what we trying to do, and come back next year as the player he should be, then we should be all right. But if that's the case, we should go for Drummond because I think that's going to shore us up defensively. Because look what we're doing now on defense.
yeah,
We keeping dudes low. You
yeah.
know what I mean? So imagine we shore that center up position, and they really got trouble penetrating. You really got to work on your 15s, your 20s, and your 30-foot jumpers to get in there. You know what I mean? That's really going to give us a chance and a push to go into the playoffs and a little bit further.
For sure. My guy, Divine, Knicks Real Talk.
Oh,
He's
what's
another
good,
one.
bro?
He's another one. You gotta check him out.
Absolutely.
He got a morning show, the morning of games, I believe, at 7:30 in the morning. So if you're a morning bird and you want
I'll be up dumb
listen,
early.
if you want to listen and talk some Knicks Real Talk, man, my guy is there for you.
All right.
Like I said, we all support each other. So
Absolutely. I'm a sub to that immediately afterwards. Salute, brother. Knicks Real Talk, Divine. Peace, brother.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Um, any more bruises? You got one that popped up for you? How about old school, man? I mean, you talked about the OJ, man. That joint. I never liked OJ because of that, man.
Yeah.
Like after that, man. Like I wasn't really one of the guys that was into the trial per
Yeah.
se. My mind about it was if he did it, I hope he gets caught. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and it really, I had no empathy or sympathy for him because I felt like he ruined by one game.
Yeah. One little
That
happiness that New York had. He come with the slow chase, man.
and I think we won that game too. And
I believe so.
I didn't get to enjoy it.
Yeah, I
So
believe
yeah,
so. I say
that was,
one moment that pops up in my head and I can't get out because I'm Jamaican fan. Pippen dunking over Ewing, that hurt. That every time I see that in the highlights, bro, I get mad. Yeah. even the look on Ewing, he's like, get off me, bro. Like that. Hell, yo, the '90s having to face Jordan and the Bulls was a nightmare. That was one big bruise. What you mean? We could have possibly won the championship had we not run into them dudes.
every time. Yep.
That's one big bruise right there.
Do you remember the J.R. Ryder block on Patrick Ewing?
Nah, I
and
can't.
and then like a monster dunk at it was all at halftime. It was all just before the half. He's one guy that was one of my favorites that we never
Yeah,
got.
Jr. Bro, you remember we used to be in the park, son, on the biddies, son?
The
Doing
biddies.
the Jr. Rider, the Harold Miner, all that.
That draft class was sick.
Ridiculous, bro.
Sick.
Ridiculous. You had Baby Jordan. It was wild. Um,
Like the biddies. That's some
word.
memories, man. They not biddies no more either. I was there last year. The-
Oh, they made them regular.
yeah, they all regular size runners. I feel sorry for them youngins that don't get to experience, you know,
Word.
taking flight like their favorite basketball player.
Yo, bro, because
Uh,
we started off on the biddies and then we had to graduate to the big court. You know what
absolutely.
I'm saying? So like, yeah, when the dudes in the big court saw us, it was like, oh yeah, all right, that kid doing, yeah, come over here.
You get some burn. You
Word.
get some burn. So yeah, let's. I mean, we talked enough about the Knicks and Bruises. I mean, we kind of mixed it up, but
Hmm.
let's talk some more about this current roster. Um, Let me ask you this: without us making a move, where do you think our ceiling is? How far can we get without us making another move this year?
The whilst making another move, the current way that we're playing right now, in all honesty, I'd say eighth to sixth. And and that's just because we're still fighting for consistency in our games. Um, I don't want to put too much pressure on our team. You know what I mean? I'm trying to enjoy this what I'm seeing, but I think at the current state, I think we could sneak into the playoffs, and depending on who we play, we can get past that first round. Um, with who we got because our bench is so deep and we got some leadership. And I love D Rose, and I love the fact that he wants to be here. He wants to mentor. He wants to win for the city. That's all you can ask for as a Knicks fan. You know what I'm saying?
Say that.
Somebody who determined to give it all up on the floor for the team and for the city. Um, and with you got guys like quickly learning under him and um, Ob, we were deep on the bench, man. So if we got any injuries, we're not, 8 out. You know what I mean? So I'd say like anywhere from 8 to 6. 6 would be 6. I'd be smiling. You know what I'm saying?
I,
Really smile. I'd be super happy. But I could see 8. 8 is realistic to me.
yeah, I think I've been saying it. I've been saying it all year. I think we're gonna avoid the play-in tournament altogether. I think our ceiling is the 6th seed for sure.
I could, yeah,
Um, I
yeah. I
think
can't.
if we hover, I kept saying if we hover around 500, this first half of the season, we'll be in good shape to hit our stride and play our best basketball in the second half. The way it's looking and the way the schedule is set up right now, I feel like we might be over 500 when the All Star break hits.
Yeah, because our toughest games was in the beginning of the season.
Hmm. And
Absolutely.
we got this nice home stretch coming up. Hopefully, we could take care of home court advantage. They just announced I think 1,000 fans in MSG, so
Mm.
that should help with the with the home court advantage a little bit.
Hmm.
So yeah, man, I think 6th seed is that's what I'm gauging us at right now. We're 7th seed right now, I
I
believe.
think. I think
I believe
so.
we're 7th seed right now. Hit we're in a stage with a 2-3 game winning streak. I mean, we're on 2 right now. So let's say a 5 game win streak. That'll put us right there
Yeah,
at the
true.
at the fifth or 6th seed. So
When do we see Brooklyn again?
I don't think this first half of the season we see them again. So it's going to be somewhere in the schedule, the second half, which hasn't been announced yet.
See, I'm concerned about that three-headed monster. You know what I'm saying? Because granted, the defense sucks. It's garbage, but they can put up numbers. You know what I'm saying? And they can run. They got some players that can run. That's the only thing that I'm worried about really is Brooklyn. To be honest with you, I think we can deal with any other team. I think we can run with any other team. We have the decent defense and we got the bench. But to have Harden, Kyrie, and then Harden's playing point now. Kyrie's going to be playing shooting guard, and then you got KD, bro. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's in a comfortable spot right now as far as scoring, and it's starting to look like the Phoenix Suns in the East.
Yeah,
You know?
I'm not too concerned with them, honestly. Uh,
So
that's
you feel we can keep their scoring below ours because it's going to be a shootout. There's shooters over there. You know what I mean?
I think number one, we have the top five. I think number two defense in the league. So
Yeah,
I think our defense will continue to be fine.
yeah.
I think our offense is catching up. It's slowly catching up, and that's what I'm talking about. As far as if our defense could keep us at around 500 like it's been doing, and then our offense just continually starts to click, starts to get better, which it has. We've seen
It
it.
is.
You know,
It is.
we have yet to see a team where everybody's played well at the same time. You know what I mean? Like,
But we're not giving up games. We're not giving up
we're
games. We're
not.
not falling in the fourth quarter. We're not. Yeah, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing.
So let's say Bullock starts to shoot a little bit more consistent on a game to game basis.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like now it's like phenomenal shooting game, decent shooting game, two bad games. Let's say he just stays at it, the decent shooting consistently.
Mm.
I think that changes things.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
if Burks could start scoring like he was in those first three games at a 20-point clip, now you're talking about 20, 30, 40. You're talking about like 50 points off the bench with three guys. You know what I mean? That's not included OB. That's not included Noel's.
Yeah.
So again, if I think our offense is gonna get better as the season goes on along. So I think we could beat Brooklyn. I really do. I really
Yeah.
do.
It's that shooting guard. It's that shooting guard that we need. Well, that's what we're lacking. When we drive in, the guy that we can kick out to the perimeter that we know open, he's knocking that down. If we got that, yeah, that's our three-head monster. Without even having to get a superstar, we just need consistent outside shooting. We have it. Just got to get consistent. Because that's what I was talking about when it came to Burke. Like, I think if Burke gets it right, he can be a good two. Like the two we need. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Shout out to my guy Stephen Fox.
Shout out.
Another channel that I'm gonna put you on to if you're not aware. Knicks at Night podcast. 11:45 every single night, 7 days a week. These guys
no days off.
No days off. They get no sleep. These guys are on for about I think they averaged shutdown is about 5 a.m.
Oh.
I think they attempt to get off earlier, but it'd be so much going on, it'd be so popping. They can't leave the fans hanging.
Yeah.
So salute to Mr. Fox. Salute to Knicks at Night.
All right.
And then to top it off, if you ain't get enough after that, I told you Divine got the morning show at 7:30. My guy Freezy, he continues to work in the morning with the Knicks Morning Drive, and I believe that's 8:30 or 8:45. I'm sorry, but it's in that range. 8:30, 8:45 in the morning. They back at it. So I love this, man. It's so many Knicks channels, Knicks fans.
It's about to be a Knicks network out here,
and we all support each other. So that's what I love more than everything. It's no hate. There are some competitors out there, but we don't talk about those those guys. We talk about the guys that like to spread love and share the
Words,
wealth. So
words.
yes,
And me
salute
being in Florida
to
right
that.
now, this is what I need because I'm not getting my Knicks fix.
Yeah, and I know it's probably a bunch of like that's why I asked you like, do you get to watch the games? There you go. It
Yeah,
says 8:45 in the
good
morning.
look.
Um, so yeah, I was asking you, do you even get to watch the games? And you said you don't. So I'm sure this is literally your Knicks fix. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like
absolutely, absolutely,
so. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you coming on and support all of these guys, man.
absolutely will. Hell
It's
yeah.
one big family, and we'll support you as well. What do you have going on with your endeavors? I know you
Well,
was talking about starting something up.
mine's is more on a it'll be more on a political, um, everyday awareness, waking up the people type thing. You know what I'm saying? I used to be called. Everybody kind of called me like Bill Nye the Science Guy. I know a lot of stuff. I'm always in books. I don't even really watch TV and stuff like that. I'm just always trying to learn. And with law and stuff, I went to school for criminal justice. I learned a lot with that. So basically, it's just my thing will be more about just putting the people up on knowledge and up on game and stuff like that. Everyday conversations as well.
I mean, that's beautiful, man. When you ready, let me know because I definitely want to support. I definitely want to
Appreciate
join the panel.
Yeah, we would love
Um,
that.
I'm not that computer savvy. I'm still learning, but any input that I could give you, I'd definitely be willing. You know,
Absolutely, I
it,
appreciate it.
it it's a crazy game out here, but
Word. I know
I'm
these YouTube streets is wild, bro.
I'm learning on the fly, man. So any questions, any help I could give, I'm more than willing for sure.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Um, anything else you want to touch up on before we get
Um,
out of here?
yeah, just basically once again, yo, I appreciate you, brother. It's been way too long. We gotta link up. You gotta come out here, Florida. You know, got you out here in Tampa. You know what I mean? It don't snow out here, bro. Um,
Hey, as soon as it opens back up, I I plan. I got a timeshare in in a couple of spots in Florida. So
okay.
um Westgate. So yeah, I'll definitely I mean you come out to Orlando or I
Oh, I
mean
got most
I
of my family in Orlando, bro.
all right. We take a quick trip to Tampa. Let's see how you living out there. We go back and
Absolutely.
forth. We
I
got
want. I want. I want to
link.
shout out. I want to shout out your show. I want to shout out the guys. Nothing but Knicks, man, because I was just watching them too. I was watching Divine and all y'all right before I jumped on here. I love what you guys are doing as a fam. I appreciate it. I support it. I love it. I'm out here getting my Knicks fix. You know what I'm saying? And I just love how y'all acting with each other, man. It's just beautiful to see, man. All types of people coming together, ethnic group, talking about what they love, man. I appreciate it. I love it,
That's right,
especially in these
man.
days and time.
Yes, for sure. Genders.
Yes, yes, yes.
Shout
I
out to
want to give a shout
Stephanie.
out to the sisters too, because I seen her in there talking her game too, and I appreciate her.
For sure, for sure. I actually I want to shout out my guy Savvy D. He's out there in Florida too. I'm working on a way to link you two guys up.
Yeah, yeah.
He's heavy in the music as well. Um,
Oh yeah.
so
By the way, yeah. I've done a couple shows out here. I'm actually on my boy Jay Sinatra. Please check him out on Spotify. Jay Sinatra. He's got some fire music, fire albums. I'm on his album Black. That's Black on the final chapter track 10.
okay.
Don Wick. So you catch me on there on Spotify. But yeah, also with the channel I'll be putting, we'll be showcasing music, original talent, anybody trying to get themselves up. So yeah, I'm big into music. I'm about to get myself producing as well.
All right. And speaking of which, I gotta go back to my guy Sim and let you know I don't know if you're familiar with the front stoop. but that's
Nah.
another
Oh,
hip
actually,
hop
wait a minute. Yeah,
life
I've
and
seen it.
society.
Yeah,
Yeah, check us out there. Maybe we do some collab, man. You know,
absolutely.
we talking about everything from underground hip hop, we got hip hop life society, and everything in between, man. So you know,
Oh, I
you're
love to join that. I love to
more than
join that.
welcome to join
Because when it comes to this music thing, man, I got my opinions, bro. Trust me.
it. But again, man, thanks for the chat, man. Thanks for everybody
Thank you.
joining. Dom, thanks for coming on, man. I
Appreciate you.
appreciate you. You are definitely going to be a reoccurring guest.
Absolutely.
Especially when I get the regular podcast going where we could talk about anything.
Mm.
And yeah, salute, man. I appreciate you. It's been great talking to you. Great catching up with
Same
you.
here, brother. Same here. Number
Um,
smiles, brother.
for sure, man. And
Salute to your family too. Tell them,
yes,
best wishes and love over here, bro.
likewise.
Thank
My mom is gonna faint
What?
when I sent her this clip.
Yo, tell her hugs and kisses, bro. Word. I
She
was just talking to my moms about your moms the other day. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
likewise and back at you and your mom.
Word.
But yo, I'm not even gonna tell her. I'm just gonna send her the clip.
Just send it to him, bro.
I'm gonna get me a cheating view.
Shout out, mommy. Love you, mommy. It's been years. I hope you remember.
Oh, she remember.
You catch us in your house.
Hey. That's for another podcast that she won't see. But
Word.
salute, dog. Yo,
Salute.
I
Thank you,
appreciate
brother.
you.